Hurricane Hilda roars into Louisiana for a weekend of brutal sport with lives, property, and crops. Thoroughly forewarned, people in the path of the approaching monster take shelter, or in some cases desert hopelessly unprotected towns. Those riding out the storm try frantically to batten down movable objects before running to shelter. National Guardsmen throughout the stricken parishes, as here in Franklin, bring people to safety. In this case, the brick courthouse. First aid stations, even whole hospitals are set up. In her full force, Hilda brings winds of 120 miles per hour. She is preceded and accompanied by an entourage of smaller tornadoes that pile more chaos and destruction on the stricken area. Property damage will run into unestimated millions of dollars. The roof that blows off is from the building that the News of the Day cameraman was using to shelter him while getting these pictures. Dawn in Franklin after Hilda had swept on with diminishing force into Mississippi and Alabama. In her wake, she leaves at least 35 persons dead and hundreds injured. More casualties may be expected to be disclosed as people return to their homes and start regathering their families and friends. President Johnson declares the region a disaster area and makes immediately available $1 million for relief of the victims. The remains of a trailer park are in Morgan City, a center for offshore sulfur mining. Hilda is no respecter of church steeples or any other kind of tall structure either. A radio tower is snapped like a dry twig. Broken telephone poles disrupt communications when they're most needed. The worst dread in the low-lying bayou areas was from floods. In the aftermath, homes stand in a placid lake. The heaviest economic damage is to the sugar fields. Some estimates are that 90% of the $100 million crop is gone. The Armory at Lafayette is but one of the many public buildings that house the 150,000 refugees from Hilda. The little town of Erath was one of the most viciously hit targets of the hurricane. Civil defense workers were tireless, and 8 of them were killed when a water tank buckled in the wind and crashed onto the city hall, which had been civil defense headquarters. The building was demolished. The workers trapped for hours before their tragic fate was known. A hurricane is not a welcome visitor.